Hey, Travis, Travis,
Huh?
Travis.
Hmm.
Hey, you see that behind you that says Sean Michelle?
Yeah, yeah, right up there.
He's not. He didn't sing me in. He
What?
didn't. What? So you know what?
Sean, what are you doing?
Sean,
Strike
you
up
there?
the band. Strike up the band, Shawnee boy.
1, 2. Sean, I need you to go 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3.
You know what I think? You know what I think this means. I've done it a few times now.
Okay, yeah,
We must have a special guest.
we probably do.
You're probably going to come in hot and heavy, like, "Hey, everybody!"
Yeah, probably so.
And
Yeah,
then you're probably going to completely ignore me and go straight to the guest.
more than likely. Yeah, probably won't even talk to you.
Probably won't. I probably won't even.
I don't even know you're there. Are you
No,
there? Are you there?
no, I'm not even here. I might as well call me John Cena because you can't see me.
You know who I think we have?
Who's the man that closes it down? I bet.
I bet we have the spin cycle. No, that one didn't work with him either,
But
did
it
it?
didn't work. Travis
Yeah,
tried and he missed some.
I
He hit,
tried.
he hit once. He hit once.
Yeah. Well, Brady Tygart, folks. Brady Tygart, the closer for the Arkansas Razorback baseball team, wearing my Razorback baseball hat. They just finished going down to Arlington, Texas, at Globe Life Field, coming back with 2 wins against those dirty Longhorns and those dirty Cowboys. Brady got to pitch 1 2/3 innings, I guess, right? Faced 5 batters and struck out 3 of them. And he tells us about that. Tells us about what he thinks of the new rules. He's not a fan of them.
And Brady's going to tell you what he thinks. And that's what I like about Brady. He doesn't sugarcoat it. He doesn't dance around.
He's
He'll
an
tell you
honest fella, folks.
this fella.
And I tell you, like all these interviews, Clint, all of them, they make me even a bigger Hog fan.
They really do.
Because these guys are so fun to talk to and they're good guys. Brady was easy to talk to, and you're like, man, that's a guy I can root for.
Yeah.
And when he comes out to pitch, I'm ready. I'm fired up.
It's going to be so much worse because Brady comes into them situations where it's like a one-run game. And he's got to hold it down. And since I feel like he's my friend now, like I said, I feel like I know him. He's a friend. I know Brady a little bit. I'm gonna be just prancing and prancing.
Yeah. I'm gonna be yelling, it's the spin cycle. Never mind. So anyway, Brady Tygart, y'all like and share this video. It is so worth it. This is a great interview, a great guy, a great Razorback, a lifelong Razorback fan. He hates all the teams he's supposed to hate. You're gonna like this guy. We need more of him. We need more of him. So Brady Tygart,
enjoy everybody.
Enjoy it. It's worth the watch. Share, comment. Let us know what you think of it. Tell us what you think.
1, 2, 3, 4. You ever seen a lame man walk? Ever heard a dumb man talk? Never seen a blind man see? I promise you will change his life. You ever seen a cancer dead? Ever seen all the poor get fed? Ever seen a prisoner set free? I promise you will change his life. Seen an orphan find a home. Ever seen a weak find a strength? I promise you will change his name. Ever seen the sick get healed?
It's your boy Bigger T. I'm here once again for the 101st time with my boy Big C, but that's all you need to know about him because we got a special guest today. Look, y'all, we have the closer not a closer,
The
the closer for the Arkansas Razorback baseball team, who just finished a 2-3 stint, beating up on some a Texas team and an Oklahoma State team. One dirty looking cow and one sorry cowboy, right?
at least one of them. Yeah.
and it's our pleasure to talk to Brady Tygart. Brady, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great now, man. Pleasure to be on here chatting it up with y'all.
Man, we appreciate you coming to hang out with us. I know we were talking off, before we recorded. You've had a long day. You've been doing some NIL stuff and doing some good things with that, helping feed the hungry and things like that. But we appreciate you taking time to talk to not so little of us.
Absolutely, man. Love doing it.
Yeah, and we're just talking body mass. Our egos aren't that big.
That's right. Yeah.
My ego's a little big. Travis's doesn't have an ego at all. But
right.
just mass-wise, this is probably the biggest podcast you'll ever be on.
That's right. Yeah, pound for pound, this is it.
Pound for pound.
This is
Pound
it.
for pound,
Waffle House
podcast in America.
That's right. Well, man, y'all had a good, big start to the season. You go down and what was it like playing in Globe Life again?
Man, well, I didn't get to go the first time with him. I was still a senior in high school, but I did do like a showcase camp thing, pre-draft type situation, in Globe Life in high school. And I was just imagining what it would look like with fans in the seats all packed out. And it was a crazy experience to be able to see that and be able to play in it. And majority of the fans there were cheering for my team. It was a great thing to be a part of, man. It was really, really fun. And I think it got us started off the right foot, getting in the direction we need to go.
I mean, as an Arkansas fan, go ahead, Travis.
No, go ahead.
I said, Arkansas fan, it's always good when you can just start anything off by beating Texas.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
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 Yeah. I mean, because deep down, all the fans hate Texas more than
Mm-hmm.
Well, and Arkansas has a great tradition of taking games, especially played on neutral sites in Texas, and making it Fayetteville South.
Oh yeah, I said this on to the Hogs Plus recording, man. It's a crazy feeling. I knew I picked the right school whenever we played Texas in the state of Texas, and we had 3 to 4 times more fans than they had.
Yeah.
I knew I was in the right place for sure.
Back in the day, Arkansas basketball would go down and play in Reunion Arena for the Southwestern Conference basketball tournament.
Yeah, my grandpa tells me all about memories he has with that.
And they would call it Barnhill South because that was.
See, Travis, you don't get what just happened there. I mean, you're going to gloss over it, but he basically compared our memories to his grandpa's memories.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
I mean,
he just said, "Thanks for the story, Grandpa." That's what he just said. That's what he just said.
Nah. My whole family has always been Razorback fans. He's fought them all the way, but especially whenever they came out with the Texas is going to join the SEC, and I think that made us. I'm excited for it. I wish I would get to play Texas while they're in SEC school, just so we can get 3-0 against them, obviously. But I'm excited to see that rivalry spark back again, man.
No, it's going to be a lot of fun. It really is. Now, that being said, let's talk that Texas game a little bit. So you got the ball at the end of the game. When you sit down, was it 5 straight?
I believe so. I believe it was 5 because Cody Frank was then he went ahead and got an out, made my job a little bit easier.
5 straight. You struck out 3, I believe.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
And
I don't remember most of it, honestly.
No,
Yeah.
Kind of sort of blacked out a little bit just because first game of the year, man. I was hyped.
Well, and I didn't get a chance. I didn't have the Flow Sports deal, so I didn't get the chance to watch it. So I was listening to it on the radio, and the commentator said you were extremely intense. That's the way they were
Oh
describing.
yeah, I was letting their dugout hear it for sure.
Well, now
Hey, if they didn't want to hear it, maybe they should have hit the ball.
there you go.
right.
Exactly. If you don't like it, do something about it.
That's right.
Exactly.
Now we'll talk a little more about that coming up, but you're from Hernando, Mississippi.
Correct.
Where's it at?
That's about 20 minutes south of Memphis. It's in northwest Mississippi. Yep.
Gotcha. So, but you were saying your whole family, and I know I've heard this from other things. Your whole family's Arkansas fans, huh?
Yes, they are.
So they're originally from Arkansas, or?
Yeah, my mom was born and raised in Arkadelphia. She went to high school Arkadelphia.
Okay.
And my dad lived in Little Rock for a long time. He was born in Little Rock. So, I mean, we had roots in Arkansas. My family we actually lived in Texas. I was born in Texas because my dad worked for Continental Express in Texas, and he got a job opportunity in Memphis and found a house in Mississippi, and we had family living there already. So we were like, all right, this will do. And that's where we settled down.
Now, you grew up pretty close to Memphis, so I take it probably a lot of like Saturday nights you found yourself in Memphis hanging out and doing stuff. So obviously we're going to talk a lot about baseball, but I just want to cut to the chase and ask the most important question I'm going to ask all night. Travis knows what it is.
I know.
Who's got the best barbecue in Memphis?
Man, I didn't really go to a lot of restaurants, but what I did do, and I have a good reason why.
Okay.
Because my buddy's dad always cooked in the Memphis and May competitions. So he would spoil us rotten with barbecue.
Gotcha.
Okay, no.
So I didn't want to taint any of that because I knew absolutely nothing I ate was going to compare to his. He won awards for his cooking and all that. So anytime I wanted barbecue, I was just like, hey, Danny, fire up the smoker, and he'd get it rolling.
Oh, you got to hook up like that. I can't blame a man.
Yeah.
Especially if he knows what he's doing. It sounds like he's competing in Memphis in May. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of folks in those, around that area that are like that, So I could see where that would be who cares about those restaurants, yeah.
Oh yeah. I got another buddy whose dad does steak competition, so I get a little slice of that too.
There you go.
Now, what's your go-to cut of meat on a steak?
Oh
man, I like a good ribeye.
Yeah.
So you like
I like ribeye.
You like the gristle, huh?
Not necessarily. I like good quality ribeye. You can't beat a quality ribeye.
I think
even if you don't eat the gristle, it gives it flavor. Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I'm more of a filet.
If I'm going to a restaurant ordering a steak, I'm getting a T-bone because it's a lot harder for them to overcook a T-bone.
Yeah.
It's good advice.
True. Yep. That's true.
Very good advice.
Good advice. Well, so growing up there, you went to Lewisburg High, right? Did you play any other sports besides baseball?
Correct. I played football for a little while, but our team was no good whatsoever. My dad kind of gave me the hint. He was like, hey, man, I know you enjoy playing football, but I don't enjoy watching you go get tackled by kids twice your size just to lose 42-0.
Yeah.
And at the point I quit, I already had an offer to come play baseball at Arkansas. So I was like, you know what? We ain't winning anything anytime soon. I'm not going to college football. I might as well hang it up. And then, ninth grade is when I was strictly baseball only.
What position did you play in football?
I was quarterback, safety, and long snapper. Believe it or not, my favorite position was long snapper.
Nice.
Most fun I've ever had playing football because they couldn't touch you. You snapped the ball and you just sprinted at the guy who was receiving it.
Yeah.
And
First
you just
one
got
down.
to open because they'd never fair caught because they always wanted to return. It was really fun.
And in baseball, what other positions did you play besides pitcher?
Oh man, I played just in high school. I played third, shortstop, second base, and first base. I used to catch a little bit, played some outfield, played a lot of DH when I started. When I started realizing that I wasn't all that great in the field. Senior year of high school, played second base and DH a lot. Senior year, and I like doing that way better than playing the field, honestly.
So were you
So now as a pitcher all the time, do you miss hitting?
I miss the highs of hitting. I don't miss the lows of hitting. That's for sure.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to be successful as a pitcher, I will say.
See, me and Travis went to go ask the same exact question at the exact same time.
Yeah.
We're completely different. I was going to ask you if you were bummed. I mean, like, man, I don't get to hit anymore.
Man, I ain't gonna lie, being a PO is the life. Yeah, it's sweet up here, man. I just go do my 30 minutes of throwing a day, do some PFPs, and go lift, and I'm out of there.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, it's the way.
What are PFPs for us dummies?
Yeah.
Pitcher fielding practice. So we'll go over
Okay.
balls at the first, you got to go run, cover first base, comebackers, double plays, picks, stuff like that, bunt coverages, all that. We'll go over that.
Okay. Now, have you met Coach Dave Jorn yet?
I don't believe I have.
He used to be the pitching coach up there, and he was.
Oh wait! I did. I think I did meet him actually.
Yeah, he's
right before we went. Right before we went to Arlington.
Okay, yeah. No, he's a great guy, but he's terrifying. So
yeah. we had him on the podcast.
Oh yeah,
really, really neat guy. Really
yeah, he's one of the guys. If he told me to go run, I would just start running.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
Okay, I understand. Just tell me when to stop.
Yeah.
You tell me I just fall over dead, but it's neither here nor there. So,
so how did your recruitment go? You said you were offered in 9th grade?
The summer between 9th and 10th grade, I believe. Yeah, I had 2 offers. I had Arkansas and Mississippi State, and you couldn't pay me to live in Starkville, Mississippi. I'm sorry.
Good answer.
No, I don't think they could pay me either. So
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
color's maroon, man.
I know. Yeah, that's right. So,
no, you're being. I mean, you're being cool about it, but if those are 2 pretty good first offers.
Oh yeah.
I mean, because Mississippi State's got a pretty good baseball school. It's not as good as Arkansas, obviously.
Oh yeah. No.
But they got a pretty good history, you know.
Yeah, 100%.
So
I have a lot of respect for their team. Just wasn't the right place for me. And
go ahead.
All my buddies know that I have a certain grudge against Ole Miss because where I lived was 50 minutes away from Oxford, from their campus, and going to their camps, coaches were like, "Yeah, man, come here." Recruiting me pretty hard, acting like they were going to offer me this camp. Get done with this camp, and then they just stop acting interested, stop talking to me. So I was like, "Oh, okay, you don't think I'm good enough to come play for your school? All right, I'm gonna go to one of your rival schools and kick your butt." So,
so when you play Ole Miss every year, you get a little fired up for that series.
Oh yeah, I got a plaque on my wall that says Freshman of the Week when we played Ole Miss. So I'm looking to get something else similar when we play them at their place.
Nice.
Now, how's it like being in 9th grade and having a major D1 offer? Because I can't imagine that. I mean,
well, honestly, you gain and you lose a lot of friends at the same time. at the same time. A lot of people that young, I couldn't really wrap my head around it. Honestly, I did not think I was good enough to play at Arkansas. But you start to notice people around you getting jealous for no reason, and also people who you've never talked to in your life deciding they better be friends with you. But I mean, it's pretty cool going around your rival schools, and everybody knows who they're playing against. Everybody knows who's throwing against them game one. I like it, especially against our rival schools in high school. I could talk a little crap to them, know that there ain't nothing they can do about it. So,
yeah.
No, that's what was your ERA in high school? I should have looked it up but I don't do any research.
I don't remember. I think it was like a .19 or something.
I think it had probably something just ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was. I wasn't a huge stat guy in high school. It didn't really bother me that much.
Now, of course, in high school, I'm sure you started games and pitched a lot of innings. I'm sure coming into college, you end up in this saving role. What was that transition like, going from getting the ball with a lot of innings and having to, to pitch going out there getting ready to pitch for a long time, and instead going out and, you got maybe at the most a lot of times. I mean, of course, you've done some little bit of longer relief for some closers. Van Horn's, he'll leave you in there for a little while, but still a lot of times it's no more than 6 batters or less. What's that transition like?
It's kind of strange to break down because it's absolutely a night and day difference at the same time, but also it's just pitching too. So I'd say the differences were obviously preparation. You have no idea if you're pitching that game or not, and every inning that you pitch as a closer is going to be a stressful inning. So you got to make sure you're sharp, and if you're not sharp, you got to figure out a way to get them out without them scoring. As a starter, you have room to give up runs, and it's fine because you're pitching for a lot of time, and you have an offense behind you. They have time to score runs for you. But yeah, different, man. When your name comes over that walkie-talkie and you're sitting in the bullpen, the heart gets to pumping, and you're pitching with adrenaline every time. Whereas if you start, you're mentally prepared for it. You're ready to go in. It's not as much adrenaline. But also, it's kind of the same because it's still you versus the hitter, man. You gotta figure out a way to get them out. But it's definitely more exciting. I will say, closing is much more exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. I can see to where, you're, like you said, you're, as a starter, especially like in college, if you're a game one starter in a series, okay, I know to get ready for Friday night. That's my night. I'm gonna go. But as a closer, you don't know. You don't know how it's gonna go. You may be in, you may not. And then if you go in, it's gonna, like you said, it's a stressful situation because you're trying to keep something, keep them down, and keep them from coming back and scoring or whatever, or it's a tight game. So I could see where that would definitely be a stressful situation.
Yeah, 100%.
Now that walkie-talkie goes off and you hear your name. What's your process? What does that look like?
Well, it kind of depends on the situation. I'll give you 2 different examples. Because the Ole Miss series, I went in, I closed 2 games, and the games were very tight the whole way through. So I kind of figured, hey, either 7th, 8th, or 9th inning, I've got to be ready to go. So I'd start moving around and stuff before anybody said anything, and then I'm already kind of primed and ready to go. And then my name comes over. I'm like, all right, now I can start getting hot. So, you have time. You can think about it, get yourself in the right mental state. But I remember the game against Auburn, the Friday night game this past year. We were losing by like 5 or something, and then all of a sudden we get the lead, and we're up by like 5. And then so I start getting up, moving around when the game is close. And then we're up by 5. I'm like, okay, I can stop moving around now because I'm probably not going in the game. And then all of a sudden they start scoring again, like instantly. Like they put up 3 runs really, really quick. And then they're all like, all right, Tiger, you got DeShera. He was on deck. Sonny DeShera was on deck at the time. And then literally I throw a plyo ball like twice. I throw like 2 crow hops down the mound. Like I'm still completely cold at this point. And before I know it, DeShera's up, and Coach Van Horn is walking out to the mound, pointing at the bullpen. I'm like, dude, I've thrown 2 baseballs. So you really, honestly, never know what you're gonna get, but
Yeah,
builds character, man. It's exciting.
there you go.
Yeah. Now,
Get
how
you
did
ready
Michael Turner was your catcher last year for the most part?
Yes.
Well, how did he take it? Did you ever shake him off? And if you did he give you the Crash Davis treatment?
Man, I might have shook him off one time. Michael had a really good mind. It's almost like he could read the hitter's mind because he knew how to play the game of baseball. He knew how to catch. He's one of the best catchers I've ever thrown to 100%. Just with the mental side of the game, really. So if he put down a pitch and he had conviction in it, man, I trusted him. I tried my best to execute it, and most of the time it worked.
Yeah.
Now, growing up, who was your favorite baseball team?
The Braves.
Braves. You're a Braves guy. Huh?
Yep. I was a big Braves fan, man.
Is there a certain pitcher that you were like your favorite pitchers to watch?
Man, I didn't really have a favorite pitcher when I was younger, but I'd say now I kind of like I like watching Yu Darvish pitch, man, just because of how many different pitches he throws. He can beat you with velo. He can beat you with spin. He really has so many weapons to choose from. He can beat you with whatever he wants, and that's kind of who I'm trying to model my game after now and who I admire a lot as a pitcher.
Gotcha. Now, you just mentioned spin. And anytime you come in, the TV commentators talk about your spin rate. Okay.
I mean, literally, if you want to get really drunk, you can make a shot game out of it when you come in.
That's right. Yeah.
That might be a good idea, actually. I might have just been thinking of
that. They love bringing that up. That's their favorite thing that they when you come in, that's guaranteed. This young man has the fastest spin rate in baseball or whatever. Okay. Talk about what that means. We asked actually last year when we interviewed Michael Turner, we asked him about that. We want to hear about it from you too. What does that do to make your pitch so tough to hit?
All right, spin rate. So it's measured in RPMs. So however many RPMs. My curveball is around 3,000 RPMs. So the reason that would be better than a curveball spinning at 2,000 RPMs is because it's more of an abrupt movement. And as it moves faster through that plane because it's spinning so aggressively. Rather than a more loopy, it's going to be more sharp, straight to it, straight down. And it actually speeds up as it's moving and breaks even more aggressively. So that's kind of the big separator and, why it's admired in our game instead of just another stat that's thrown out the window.
And it also makes it harder to pick up what kind of pitch it is, correct?
Correct, yes.
Because you can't read the laces as well because they're moving faster.
Yeah, if you spin it fast enough, it just looks like a white sphere.
Yeah.
And
is that something you've worked on? Or is it just something that just kind of naturally started happening?
I wouldn't say it's something I worked on necessarily. It was more of a byproduct of fixing another issue I had with my delivery. And I have to credit Coach Hobbs a lot. He's a freaking baseball genius. I can't give that man enough praise. But freshman year in the fall, I just had really sloppy mechanics. Arm was way off time, and basically I was coming way too long out of my break, out of my glove, and yeah, I ended up having a hairline fracture in my elbow because of it, and I missed the fall. Started doing rehab in the spring, and he started working on creating a better arm path for me, breaking it out of my glove, and being more on top of the ball, and just having it be better for my arm. And as a result of this, it was a lot more. My mechanics were a lot more efficient. I could move a lot better, and naturally, it picked up spin. I think I picked up like 400 to 600 RPMs on my curveball just within a few weeks of him really breaking it down and coaching me through it. And I give really a majority of my credit to him for that.
Cool. Now, I've always wondered something because I never was much of a baseball player. No, I played some mean rec league softball, so don't want to take it with myself. Me and Travis tore it up in church league. We'll just want to intimidate you, but you don't want you have to pitch underhanded and large ball. You don't want none.
Hey, I could throw a wicked underhand knuckler.
Hey, I know my limits. I don't want no underhand knuckler. Nowhere around it.
So, what's a better feeling as a pitcher? Because I've asked Travis this because I don't know. When you blow that heat past somebody to end the game, or when you just freeze them on a curveball, they're like, crap.
Man, that's tough. I think if they swing at it, it's better to throw a fastball. Because it's just something about just wearing down my best versus your best, At the same time, it's kind of rewarding to throw a curveball, especially like a righty hitter. He like leans out of the way of the ball because he thinks it's gonna hit him, and it ends up being a strike. So you made him look like an idiot,
Yeah.
But if I had to do one, I don't know, man. There's something special about closing the game out, just blowing it by him, just pure heat, man.
That's awesome.
Just that. Okay, I want to have a little fun with you. I want to have a little fun with you, Brady. Now, closers, you already have the whole intense attitude. You already have the, you're out there, you got the mean mug going, you got all that going for you, right? But closers are known to also have nicknames a lot, right? Mm-hmm. You have a nickname?
I wouldn't say I really have a nickname now. Honestly, I say that all the time in the locker room, man. Everybody has a nickname except for me. And I feel like I have a good last name to create a nickname, but I can't come up with a nickname for myself. It has to just happen naturally. So I'm patiently waiting on my.
I got a couple ideas for you. You ready? Can I give them to you and you can just
kind of. He hasn't told me, so I'm gonna be just as surprised.
Yeah, I haven't told Clint these yet. These are just some.
I may cringe.
I went to visit family this weekend. I was driving home, listening to some oldies music, and I came up with these. All right. Kind of playing on the whole spin rate thing, right? Because the commentators are going to talk about that, so why not? Let's go with that, okay? And this, hey, think about the shirts. El Spinarino, kind of little Latin flair, right? The Spin Doctor.
I think Michael Turner's actually called me the Spin Doctor before, or maybe it was Ledbetter.
That was a band from the 90s, by the way.
Yeah. I
mean, Spin Nasty. Spin Nasty. Oh, that's pretty good.
Terrible.
That's pretty good.
That's the best one yet. No.
And now you're entering the spin cycle. Right there. Come on now. The spin cycle.
Now that was you closed with your worst one.
You telling me a setting on a normal washing machine is not intimidating? What is that what you're saying? All right, maybe it's not the best.
Yeah, spin
I do have a good. Do you have a song you come into?
Yeah, the song I have when I'm in relief is "Solo" by Future,
Okay.
and it's be a fan favorite, especially with the younger guys.
Yeah. Well, you need to check out "Round and Round" by Rat. They're like a '80s hair band. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure my parents appreciate that.
Yeah. Sorry.
Maybe even his grandpa.
Don't tell them that a preacher told you to listen to Rat. Okay.
Rat.
But anyway, now this weekend, the first game, man, y'all came out and of course we're all interested. Of course, I didn't have Clint and I didn't have the Flow Sports thing. We weren't able to go to the game, so we weren't able to kind of watch. But y'all have a lot of new players, and some of those guys really, showed out. Talk about, and I just wanted to ask you about a couple of those, if you don't mind. Wagner, how good is he?
Wagner. It's pronounced Wagner.
Wagner. Sorry.
He's a grad transfer from Creighton, and oh my goodness, that man is unbelievable. I don't know how he did not get drafted, because he is honestly one of the most talented pure hitters I've ever seen, and he is strong as an ox. Like, we were in the dugout betting on whether he would hit a home run or a double this at bat.
Yeah.
Like, it's tough to get that man out. He's very disciplined at the plate, and one of the most talented athletes I've ever seen, for sure.
Well, the weekend he had was just freaking amazing.
Abnormal.
And it wasn't like y'all were playing School for the Blind.
Yeah, no.
Y'all were playing 3 stud teams,
yeah.
Well, really good teams, and for him to do what he did was just, oh man. Now another one that he didn't have. Let me find him here. This one didn't have a very good weekend, but I'm guessing y'all have seen a lot more of him, a lot better from him than what we saw this weekend. So I want to give you a chance to just talk about that. There's better to come from him, and that was Caleb Cali.
Yeah,
he struggled a lot this weekend, but we heard a lot of good things about preseason about him. So you think this weekend was just kind of one of those? Baseball has that, man. You have that where sometimes you have a struggle bus for a little bit.
I think he's just pressing himself too hard. He's trying to get his first SEC hit. He's trying to prove that he belongs here. But as soon as he gets that first one and stops putting so much pressure on himself, man, everybody's going to see, nation's going to see he's a super, super talented player. He's going to be a big key for us this year, making it back to Omaha.
And then Jones came in for him and did a pretty good job. Did a good job filling in for him whenever he came in. Anything about him? Just
yeah, man. He handled the spotlight well. I texted him after the game, told him I was proud of the way he stepped up and played, because he started off the year on the bench, and you can see how quick it can happen, man. You get your spot, you make the most of it. And
he's a freshman, right?
Yeah, he's a true freshman. He's uber talented, man. He's got so much raw power.
He's a big kid.
Yeah, he is. He's a big guy, and as he matures and just gets used to this level of baseball, I think he's really going to shine.
And then Josenberger, am I saying that right?
Fabian Joe. Yes.
The
leadoff
guy, right?
Yeah, he's just a freak athlete. He came from Kansas. He's our center fielder. He makes great reads in center field. He's one of the best center fielders in the SEC for sure. I'd put him up there in the nation. I think he's a severely underrated player, and I think by the end of the year he's going to be a high-ranked draft prospect because he's got power from both sides. He is for average, it's for contact, and he's a team player too, man. Whatever team needs, if you need him to lay down a bunt, he's going to do it. Hit and run, he's going to do it. Sac fly, he's going to do it. But he can also put it out of the yard, and he can run a lot too. So,
well, that's what you need in that leadoff guy, right? You need a guy that doesn't have an ego. You know, he's not gonna get up there and shake off a bunt because it's gonna hurt his or sacrifice because it's gonna hurt his batting average or something. You know, he's
he's in it to help us win, man. Number one.
Talk about some of the other arms, some of the new arms this year. Who are some of the ones that jump out to you that you think are going to be, guys that really going to help this pitching staff?
Oh man, there's so many, but I'll jump off with 3 transfers we got who are going to be really big for us who pitched this weekend. Cody Frank, Cody Adcock, and Hunter Holland. Hunter Holland, actually they're all 3 JUCO products, but Cody Frank transferred directly from Nebraska to Arkansas. I think he's going to be a mid-relief guy. Kind of eat up innings for us and hold. If they have a small lead, he's going to keep that to a small lead. Or if we have a small lead, he's going to also keep that because, he's a really good arm. And Adcock and Holland have been extremely impressive since they stepped on campus. All 3 of them are super hard workers, and I'm glad they're wearing a Razorbacks jersey and not somebody else's.
Yeah.
No, Holland's going to be. I think I saw his press conference today that he enjoys starting the Sunday game.
Yeah, 100%. Because that's a must-win game, whichever way you look at it. You can either sweep, you can win the series, or you can keep from getting swept. Sunday is always a must-win game, and he thrives in pressure, man.
Good deal.
No, well, and anytime you hold Rock Reggio in check, I think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Me and Travis, we don't obviously we don't have Flow Sports. My brother has an account, and one time I got on it to watch something. I kicked him off of it, and then I called him and said, "Hey man, will you log out of your account real quick so I can do something?" And he was like, "Are you really asking me to log out of something I pay for so you can do something?" I'm like, yeah, I am. That's what 100% that's what I was doing. So did Reggio really do a bat flip after hitting a single?
I didn't see the bat flip part, but our fans were booing him real loud. Then he hit the single and started pumping up his crowd. But I actually admire how hard he plays the game. He can do some things that are borderline, and we have great fans because they're fighting for the Razorbacks. But I actually like when players play with a lot of emotion like that. I can respect them.
No, he's one of them guys. If he was wearing Razorback red, we would all love him.
They would love him.
We would love him. But since he's playing for another team, I can't stand him.
Hey, and I respect that. I respect that too. If you're not on our side, then you're against us. So
Now, obviously, as we've said, Travis is a preacher, so you'll have to keep this PG, bud. But what are some of the funniest things you've heard our fans saying to opposing players?
Oh, man. I don't even know, but we got a fan who sits above the opposing team's dugout. We call him Hog Noxious. Man, that man brings props to the game. Every time in air, he's got a boot on the end of a stick he waves around. And I can't hear what he's saying to the other team when they're walking back after a strikeout or something, but I can't imagine it's something their mothers would enjoy to hear.
I think that was just his way of saying is, I can't keep it PG. Y'all go ahead.
There's no way. There's no way.
Yeah,
Now, what other teams, this is normally a Clint question, what other teams have some of the best fans besides, that you played in away games?
Played at away games. I wouldn't say A&M has the best fans because they just suck, dude. I'm gonna be real. They just think they are untouchable for some reason. I really don't understand their whole ego thing, but they say horribly vile things to the parents, and I have zero respect for anyone who is a Texas A&M Aggie. Sorry,
Yeah.
but their fans are extraordinarily passionate about their Aggies. So don't know why they picked them. I'm feel bad for them. They're fans for them, but they're extremely passionate.
Yeah.
So it was a good atmosphere. See, where else did we play last year that was tough? We didn't have a crazy hard schedule. Gainesville, just a bunch of swamp monsters down there. They don't really have good fans, man. You know, they're in Florida. They have good weather all the time, and they can't come out and support a really good team in a really good ballpark.
Yeah.
Where else did we play last year? We played at Missouri. I shouldn't have to say anything about Missouri. Not a fan of that place at all.
No, I went to the football game in Missouri this year.
Yeah, I don't like Columbia, man. It's too cold. It's windy all the time. But most of the time we go there, we win a ball game, so I'm fine with it.
There you go. So now, do y'all play at Vandy this year?
We do.
Okay. Now listen, I'm going to give you permission to do something, and if Coach Van Horn says anything to you, just tell him to call me. I want you to go full Nuke Lelouch on the Vandy Whistler.
Oh my gosh! Dude.
Just beat him. Beat him.
I'm going to have to bring earplugs
The
to the
entire
game.
SEC will thank you for it.
No, 100% they will.
Yeah,
I can't even watch a Vanderbilt baseball game because of that.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's right.
So yeah,
honestly, it makes it unenjoyable.
Just do the entire SEC a favor.
That's right. Yeah.
Andy Whistler.
That's right.
I'll see my sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Now let's talk about these new rules.
Well, you're gonna get spicy now, Travis.
Yeah. Now he's already fired up talking about A&M. Let's talk about that call against him in the Texas game. So there's how many second clock are y'all on?
20.
Get the pitch off. 20.
Yes.
So from the time the ball hits the catcher's mitt, you have 20 seconds to get the next pitch out. Is that right?
It's either the catcher's mitt or our glove. I'm not entirely sure, but it's one of the two.
And now on Saturday, wasn't that Horned Frogs were stealing off the clock, right?
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, hey, take advantage of it. You might as well, because I mean, I'm sure we're going to end up doing the same exact thing. I'm sure everybody will. But I'm not a fan of the pitch clock with runners on base, because you need to be able to just hold and not throw a pitch or not pick off sometimes. That's part of baseball. It's a strategy used very often.
Yeah.
So I think it needs to go away with runners on base. But with nobody on, I have zero problem with it. And I don't really understand the point of taking a 3-hour game and shortening it down to 2 hours and 45 minutes. That's not going to make more people watch the game. I'm sorry. It's not. You're either a baseball fan or you're not. You can't convince somebody to like something.
I'm totally with you there. I think you're exactly right. I think shortening it by what they're doing with that is not going to make that huge of a difference. I think
if they really want to shorten it, make it 7 innings.
Yeah. Well, I think the 10-run rule.
Yeah, I'm fine with that because it gives us a chance to embarrass some teams. So I'm good.
It does.
Well, and it also those games that. I mean, to be honest with you, once you're down by more than 10,
it's real tough to come back, man.
You want to just get out.
Especially at that point, you're probably not throwing, your arms that you would throw in a normal game, and it's just risking people for injuries that haven't thrown much or not prepared to. And I think that's a good addition.
Yeah.
Now, they're continuing. You, especially in the majors, you see them tinker with rules and stuff. How do you feel about the robot umpire? Would that be something you, as a pitcher, would be in favor of, or do you like? Because I'm like you, I like having a human behind the plate and having to adjust the game accordingly. But then again, I'm not a pitcher, and you are, so that's why I was.
I'm not a fan of that either, man. It's like a self-driving car. I don't want a self-driving car. I want to be able to drive my car.
Mhm.
You know, but I'd rather get screwed over by a human umpire than get strike calls by a robot ump. Because it's just, at the end of the day, we're here for people's entertainment. It's much, much more entertaining with an umpire that can get in arguments and throw people out and make bad calls and mess up. You know, it's better for entertainment. When you get a robot ump, I would not watch a baseball game if there's a robot ump.
Well,
You know,
and that's kind of part of the game, is figuring out the ump's strike zone, right?
exactly. Putting it like, I don't think that's going to be a thing. I hope not. At least it's going to ruin baseball if it comes in.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's enough folks that feel like me and you that I think they're going to be able to keep it from happening for at least a long, long time. I don't think we'll see it in my lifetime.
And I don't either. And even if it's implemented, I think it's going to get taken right out because I think the views are going to go down tremendously.
Yeah. Well, there's talk about them doing it, and then I forget how they would still implement the live umpires somehow into it, but I hope it never happens. I'm like y'all.
I hope it never happens, man. Because there's so many videos too of like a pitch is like 3 feet outside, and the umpire has to call a strike because the robot umpire said it was a strike. And it's like the batter can't argue with them because it's what the robot said. So I'm not a fan at all.
Yeah, people just need to decide if they like baseball or not. If you don't like baseball,
there's no need to modernize America's pastime.
Yeah. No. So I take it you're not a fan of the new starting extra innings off with a runner on second rule either.
I don't mind that one because there's nothing worse than you're playing a Friday night game at 7:00 and you go into extras, and then here it is in the 15th inning, and both pitchers are on a roll. You're not scoring until they're out of the game.
Yeah.
And then you don't get done with the game until 1:30 in the morning. All the fans leave. You know, so I am a fan of it. You know, you went the whole entire game. All right, it's kind of like a shootout. All right, let's go. Come in clutch whenever it matters. So I actually, that's one of the rules I can get behind.
Yeah, I don't mind that one either. What do you think about the shift rule?
Man, that's dumb. That is dumb to me. I think you should be able to put every single player at second base if you want to. Who cares? Because if it backfires on them, then that's their fault for playing the shift. But don't ban the shift.
If you're a professional baseball player and you can't figure out how to go opposite field,
you got bigger problems.
Then exactly. Then you need to change up your batting practice a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of banning strategies. I don't like that.
I mean, that just blows my mind. A professional baseball player. I mean, what would Tony Gwynns and Wade Boggs say about that?
They'd be upset, man.
Wade Boggs would say, "Hold my beer."
Yeah.
I'm about to hit 500 on these fools.
I'm going to get it right to where the second baseman should be.
That's right.
Yeah.
I don't get that. But anyway. Brady, what's your major in school?
Sports rec.
What's your of course I know baseball is the big goal, but what's the career goals with the degree?
You know, I like
whenever that is.
Whatever I can do to just stay in the game, man, because baseball is such a big part of my life. I love it. I love the game to death. So, you know, sports agency would be big. Anything like that. Owning a team, owning a franchise, something like that. I'd be happy with. So
Just small,
really anything I can do.
Like own an organization,
Yeah.
not a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Only stuff that costs,
Yeah.
$400
billion.
Yeah.
Jillion.
Oh, it doesn't have to be a big organization. It could be like youth organization.
Oh, there you go.
Stuff like that.
I got you.
Yeah. But you want to be in the game somehow. You want to stay connected to baseball.
100%.
Cool. Yeah.
No. Now,
and you're gonna, and that's the cool thing about it with the trajectory you're on. You're gonna have those opportunities to do that. Once you get your whatever happens after Arkansas, and then however long that takes,
Yeah, I feel like even if I can't reach my being in the MLB, I have enough wisdom about the sport to help a kid reach their dream. So
that's a good deal.
Now, if me and Travis were coming to visit you in Fayetteville, just to hang out, first off, people would wonder what you're doing with two 46-year-old men. But more importantly than that, where would you take us to eat? What spot are we going?
Where would I take you to eat? Man, I don't branch out very much. I like Shogun, the Japanese place. That's really good. El Cerro.
Put away some fried rice.
Yeah, El Cerro is a Mexican restaurant right beside the field, right beside my apartment too, and it's just got built and it's really good. What's it called? I forgot the name of the restaurant, but it's a sandwich place on the square. I can't think of the name of it, but it's super good. So really whatever we're in the mood for. And Giraldi's. I love Giraldi's. It's really good.
I've been to a sandwich place downtown Fayetteville. Went with a buddy one time. I can't remember what it was.
I don't know why I can't remember the name.
But it was really good.
Something Joe? I don't know.
Well, cool. So what do you do for fun? What you got any hobbies? Got any stuff outside of sports?
I love taking naps. Whenever I get back home from practice, I'm exhausted. Man, but I love hunting. I love it to death. Duck hunting is my favorite type of hunting. In the off season, if you want to find me, I'm somewhere in the duck woods, 100%.
Where do you duck hunt at?
I'd say that's probably my main hobby outside of Arkansas, baby. Come on.
Okay.
Only the best place in the country to duck hunt.
Do you duck hunt close to Stuttgart or somewhere around there, or where?
Yeah, we actually have a duck camp right outside of Stuttgart. It's about 30 minutes east of it.
Yeah.
In a town called Marvell, and it's
Marvel. Yeah.
It's done good. It's done as good.
Yeah.
Good deal.
So now, have you went with any of your teammates duck hunting?
I didn't. I was supposed to actually go with a few of them, but the one time that we were supposed to go, our holes were completely locked up because it was like -1 degree at night. So we couldn't get the boat off the trailer, much less in the hole. So we couldn't go then. Tried to go another time with one of the teammates. They got sick. Tried to go another time, and I was sick. So it didn't work this year. But I got to go with my dad and my grandpa a lot. So we made it work.
I was just going to wonder. I was going to ask you who the best shot was. So we'll just assume that you are.
Oh yeah. I put myself up against a lot of people on that.
There you go. Well, man, what's it been like playing for Dave Van Horn?
The man knows how to win ball games. 100%. He knows how to win baseball games. You can't help but to learn whenever you're around him and Coach Hobbs. They got a good system. They know what they're doing, man. They know how to recruit. But yeah, man, you just learn so much. Just literally just being in the building around those guys, just the way they talk, see how they run things. It's everything I thought it would be and more, man. Honestly, I've learned so much since I've gotten here, just because of how great our coaches are. And it's like every day we have a new pitcher, learning a new pitch and stuff. And Coach Hobbs said it's just a place of learning, man. You can't help but to grow your understanding and knowledge of the game being there.
Well, one of the things Michael Turner said when we had him on the podcast, and it sounds like you feel the exact same way with Arkansas. You can get as good as you want to be.
100%. 100%.
Like there's zero reason why you can't get better at the game of baseball at the University of Arkansas.
Yeah. Our practices are great. You get everything you need in there. And if you want extra work, there's nobody on the staff that's going to tell you no.
Yeah. Now, a couple more players. I forgot to ask you about these guys, and I should have. You got some new catchers this year. We just talked about Michael Turner. Don't have him. How's it working out with the new catchers?
Man, they're both really, really good. And I think they're both dogs, man. So I think it's going to be really good because I think they're going to split time and kind of save both of their bodies, unlike what we had to do with Michael last year, because Michael was the only one we caught, and his body got abused, man. So I think it's going to be good for us to have two catchers who are both so good, and they bring different things to the table as well.
Now, are they both calling pitches as well, like Michael did, or are they doing more from the dugout? Or is it none of my business? You can tell me it's none of my business. I don't care.
No, it really just depends on who we're playing and who the hitter is. Like, for the most part, it's the catcher's game. They're calling whatever they want. But if our coach has a really good scouting report on a hitter, he'll like call a pitch every once in a while from the dugout. But most of the time, if coach gives Huddy or Piro one pitch to call, they pretty much know how to pitch the batter. So they're both very smart in that aspect of the game as well.
So is it Polk and Roland, the ones that are starting?
Yes, it is.
Okay. That's what I was thinking. I couldn't remember. I know Kilgore's the other one, right?
Yeah, he actually tore something in his knee, but he was holding off on surgery so he could be with the team this year.
Okay. Gotcha. Well, it's good. It's good to have those guys. I know. We did hear from Michael, and he said that when they signed them last year, he thought they would be really good. So, he was telling us good things about them. So that's really good. Well, man, we're excited to see what this season has in store for y'all. This is going to be there's a lot of new parts to this team, and of course, still a lot to, good start to it this weekend. Of course, that game Saturday, we wish we don't want to talk about it too much, but that happens, and so what's your thinking on this season? You've got this your second season now. I know you feel good about it, of course, but do you feel kind of the same way you did about last year? Do you feel better than you did about last year? How do you feel?
Man, last year's team was a really good baseball team. We just, even in games we didn't score many runs, we just figured out how to win baseball games. And I'd say last year's team and this year's team is night and day different. We're more of a united team this year, and we don't think there is a team in America that can beat us. Like, we think if we play TCU 10 more times, we're beating them 10 times. We have all the confidence in the world in ourselves, and I don't want to jinx it, but I think this team is super, super special, and I think we can win it all.
Man, love to hear that. As fans,
honest to goodness, that's the way you should feel.
100%.
If you're going to step on that mound, you need to think, on that field, you need to think, okay, we're the best team in the country.
Yeah, 100%. And we got depth. Like, I don't know if y'all couldn't watch the Oklahoma State game, but we were bringing in everybody off the bench, and everybody that came off the bench got hit. Like, we're just our talent.
I was listening to it. I was thinking
we were
that too.
bringing new guys out of the pen, and they were shoving. We're insanely talented. You could take our backups, and majority of them would start anywhere they wanted to in the SEC.
What do you think's bringing that? Because in a lot of ways, man, y'all are putting in a lot of new pieces, and a lot of times with teams like that, one of the things you don't see, which what we're seeing with the basketball team, is unity. Right, is the hardest thing. Right, it's them playing together. But you're talking about. It seems like this team really has a unity. What
100%.
do you think's making that happen? Is it you think that's because of some of the leaders that are left that have kind of fostered that? Is it the coach is doing something that's fostering that? What do you think's leading that?
I just think we don't really have any guys who put themselves before the team. They could care less about what happens in the draft as long as we're holding up a trophy at the end of the year. They don't give a crap what happens. They don't care what their role is as long as they help the Arkansas Razorbacks win baseball games. And I think that's what's making the biggest difference. We're not cliquish. Everybody hangs out with everybody. There's absolutely anybody in the locker room you could say, hey, go on a 10-hour car ride with, and I'm completely comfortable with it. Anybody in the locker room. And I think everybody feels that way about everybody else. And it honestly happened within the first week. We just all clicked. We were all hanging out instantly. We have a very strong brotherhood, man.
No, and what's great is me and Travis get to be fans and just watch it. And we can't wait to watch you pitch all season, and we'll be rooting you on. And just thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, man, we appreciate you coming on, and man, we're gonna be rooting for you. We're gonna be rooting for you throughout the season, no matter what. So we're excited about it, and we can't wait to see what the season has in store. Keep throwing them crazy spinners, and but do it in the proper time limit, young man.
Yeah, absolutely. Gotta worry about that now.
Well, man, Brady, we appreciate you so much, folks. Thank you so much for watching. Like and share all those different things. We're on Apple, Spotify, anywhere out there you find podcasts.
On Farmers Only.
Let people know about this podcast, what you think about it. Especially those Razorback fans, baseball fans. They want to hear from this young man because he's going to do big things, shutting down those hitters in the SEC all year long. Brady Tygart, appreciate you, buddy.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate y'all.
All right. Y'all have a great week. We out.
Sweat, work, filthy, dirt, harvest, hurt, kingdom come. Sweat, work, filthy, dirt, harvest, hurt, kingdom come. Listen, that's why I sweat when I work. My hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no harvest till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come. Listen, I wake up in the morning, I bow my head to pray. Mama told me if I don't, ain't nothing gonna change. These prayers breaking up hard ground so I can sow the seed. Ain't afraid of no aches and pain. Lord,